Hundreds of carp streamers brighten up the skies in Higashi Matsushima, Miyagi Prefecture to encourage reconstruction. The area was struck by the earthquake and tsunami in 2011. About 600 streamers went on display this year. Carp streamers are traditionally displayed in Japan on May 5th, Children's Day, to pray for children's health and well-being. University student Kento Ito started the event in 2011 after the disaster occurred. He lost his 5-year-old brother in the tsunami. He said he wanted to put on an event to showcase the blue carp streamers that his brother loved. About 400 blue streamers were set up at a site where Ito's family home used to stand. Local children and volunteers gathered to fly 200 more streamers that people sent from all over Japan. Some of the streamers feature messages of encouragement. A woman from central Japan said she asked children from local elementary schools to sign the streamers. Ito said he hopes the annual event will become a symbol of reconstruction in the disaster-hit region. A museum has opened in a city near Tokyo that exhibits historical data of prejudice and discrimination against leprosy patients. The Ministry of Health, Labour and Welfare built the server jail for the patient of a leprosarium museum in Kusatsu, Gunma Prefecture to pass the situation of human rights violations on to future generations. An opening ceremony took place on April 30th. Among the participants were former leprosy patient Osamu Sagawa, who presently lives at a care facility in Tokyo. Speaking at the ceremony, Sagawa said many people had been unjustly segregated in the facility due to the disease. He said the history of the facility should be passed on to future generations so that people will never forget the tragedy. The museum features a replica of a detention facility called Kyuryu Rakusenen, which was dedicated to punishing leprosy patients deemed disobedient. 93 patients were detained and 23 of them died until the facility was abolished in 1947. The replica reveals the severe living conditions the patients had to endure. They were given only a thin piece of bedding in an unheated room amid freezing temperatures in the winter. The museum also showcases used tableware and other daily commodities unearthed from the site where the ward used to stand. Minoru Narita, the director of the museum, said he hopes visitors will view the exhibition not only as a part of history but also as an issue of human rights violations that have been committed. Babies took part in an annual crying sumo contest on Children's Day on May 5th in Hiroshima, Western Japan. The event took place on the national holiday. About 800 babies aged 6 to 18 months took part this year. People believe the loud cry of a baby will ward off evil spirits and bring healthy growth. Babies are dressed in traditional festival coats and headbands. Two babies sit face to face in a sumo ring. The baby who cries first is the winner. A referee shouts "Nokota" at them to make them cry. Nokota means start fighting or keep fighting and is the traditional term shouted during every sumo bout. Some babies burst into tears before their bout began. A few remained blissfully unaware of what was happening. People in a coastal city in Ibaraki Prefecture have held a traditional festival for the first time since March 11th disaster 3 years ago. The Hitachi Otsu no Ofuna Festival takes place every 5 years to pray for a good catch and safety at sea. The participants use a rope to pull a 15-meter-long 6-ton wooden ship carrying a portable shrine through Kita Ibaraki City. A group of drummers and flute players provided a musical accompaniment as the ship moved forward on its wooden frame. Now, many people filled the roadside to watch the event and to pray for the area's recovery from the disaster. A resident said the city has fewer houses now, but she is happy to see the bustle coming back with the festival. A solar halo appeared in the sky over Lhasa, capital city of southwest China's Tibet Autonomous Region, May 5th morning. The solar halo became visible at around 9 in the morning, and many local residents poured onto the streets to enjoy the rare atmospheric wonder. The sun appeared to be encircled by a grey and black band with many colours rings around the edge of the circle. Solar halo is a symbol of good luck in Tibetan culture. A rare atmospheric optical phenomenon, solar halos usually appear in spring and summer and are formed when sunlight is refracted by ice crystals in high-altitude cirrus clouds. experts warn that people should not look at the solar halo with naked eyes for long because the strong sunlight could easily hurt the eyes. The spectacular sight was visible in the city for 4.5 hours. An ambulance helicopter was sent to transport a fresh heart to a hospital where a boy was waiting for a transplant surgery recently, marking the country's first case of organ delivery by helicopter. The surgery was successful, said the surgeon of the Beijing Anzhen Hospital, one of the capital's major hospitals, and the patient should be further observed as he is only 12 years old. The organ donor, surnamed Yi, 21, in southwest China's Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, died of brain cancer. His family members decided to donate his organs, including 2 kidneys, 2 livers, a pair of corneas, and a heart. To ensure the freshness of human heart, the journey should be less than 6 hours according to the international standards. Yi's heart was removed at about 16:40 after a 40-minute surgery. Escort surgeons holding a special box hurried to the local airport and boarded a Beijing-bound civil airplane and took off at 1800. The airplane landed at the Beijing capital airport at around 2021. From the airport, the waiting helicopter with its propeller turning flew the organ and made its landfall adjacent to the hospital at 2052, where the patient was already anesthetized. At about 22:40, the main part of the surgery was concluded. Chinese holidaymakers flocked to major tourist attractions across the country during the 3-day May Day holiday, which began on Thursday. More than 25,000 of them visited the world's largest Buddha statue at the Leshan Giant Buddha in southwest China's Sichuan province in the morning. Thousands were seen climbing down the plank road on the cliff around 71 meters tall Buddha, while more than 3,400 waited in lines at the entrance of the plank road before they could have a closer look of the Buddha. The Leshan Buddha, dating back to more than 1,300 years ago, was carved out of a cliff fronting the Mount Ermei, with the rapid rivers flowing below its feet. Local authorities have dispatched personnel to help direct the tourist flow and maintain orders at the dangerous spots. Meanwhile, more than 200,000 tourists arrived at the Qiandao Lake or Thousand Island Lake scenic area in East China's Zhejiang province. Man-made lake, well renowned for lush forests and exotic islands, experienced a tourist boom as tourists lined up for taking boats as early as 6 a.m. At 9 a.m., thousands were seen swarming to the docks as water is the only way for them to tour around the scenic areas. There will be more than 2,000 boat times per day during the holiday, which means one departing every single minute. In Weihai, East China's Shandong province, the 7th Sand Sculpture Festival opened on the beach to attract the travelers. The hundreds upon thousands of tourists attended the festival to get a glimpse of more than 100 pieces of exquisite sculptures. Brides and bridegrooms wearing great traditional Chinese clothing and attended a traditional Chinese wedding ceremony of the Han Dynasty 206 BC to 220 AD in the village of East China's Shandong province. The group wedding ceremony, attended by 10 new couples, began at 9 a.m. at the square in Dazhong village, Tengzhou city in southern Shandong. The couples performed rituals of the traditional Chinese wedding, with most of them reflecting the couple's affection and respect for each other as well as for their parents. The 20-minute wedding offered the new couples both a taste of traditional Chinese culture and a sense of romance. Iran is the birthplace of the world's origin of inverted tulips, known in Farsi as Lale Vachgun. During the month of Ordi-Behest, second month of Persian solar calendar beginning on March 21st, which coincides April and May in the spring season, a special species of tulips grow with inverted petals in Iranian mountains. Its main habitat is Zagros Mountains. The greatest of this flower is found in Korang of Chahal Mahal and Bakhtiari. The plant begins to grow in the plains of Iran from mid-Farvardin and is in full bloom by mid-Ordi-Behest, which is early May. Inverted tulip blooms last only a month, and during this time a lot of travelers go to visit this astonishing beauty in western provinces of Iran every year. Iranian coffee-making enthusiasts are showcasing their love for latte art in Tehran. Competition participants craft several types of coffee and add intricate designs on the top. They are creating beautiful patterns with steamed milk on top of the foam, and the best barista wins the competition. Judges closely examine every move entrants make, each having 16 minutes to demonstrate their skills. Patterns in the coffee must exactly conform to pictures provided to participants in advance. Each entrant also offers judges a signature drink, an innovative drink with a unique combination of ingredients they made themselves. Entrant Muhammad Aga Mohammadkani is wearing a t-shirt with signatures of his fans and friends all over the back. He hopes the event will draw attention to Iranian baristas. Aga Mohammadkani and his friends have formed an association of Iranian baristas. They hope to be able to take part in international competitions held overseas, something that has been impossible for Iranians because of lack of an internationally recognized federation. 3 judges from Cafe River, Italy are judging participants. Barista trainer and judge Mara Bruni hopes the festival will pave the way for future events. This 2-day event was organized by Fidelio, a successful Iranian startup that has created an online database of Iranian restaurants and coffee shops across the country. Recent years have seen a boom in Iran's cafe culture, which has led to a mushrooming of lots of coffee shops across Tehran. These are providing an outlet for young middle-class Iranians who suffer from a lack of public places to meet. For years, Iranian authorities kept the number of cafes limited since they were seen as a symbol of Western influence and places to spread non-Islamic beliefs. But reports of cafes being shut because they violate Islamic dignities have dropped markedly in recent months, suggesting a growing tolerance by the authorities. Now, with the rise in number of cafes, more people find jobs in coffee shops and try to attract more customers by serving different types of coffee and luring young coffee lovers with adding a touch of style to their shots of latte. Mashayeki spent months organizing the event and talking to sponsors and judges. Aga Mohammadkani was the eventual contest winner. His prize is a trip to Italy, where he can take part in an advanced barista course.